Hell tour.
Yeah.
How's that going? You guys started it in the end of April, right? The 22nd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been amazing.
I heard it was sold out most of the shows.
Yeah, it's been killer turnouts, and you know, I mean, just for us as Sabbath fans and Dio Sabbath fans, when we got this tour, we were just, you know, couldn't believe it. And just to see, you know, playing the shows is awesome, but to be honest, like, the best thing for me is like watching Sabbath every night. I haven't missed a show yet.
No.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, they're still like at the top of their game. You know, Dio still sounds amazing, and the whole band. You know, it's like.
Is this the first time that you've got to see Black Sabbath, or?
No, I've seen them all. We actually did Oz back in '97. We did Ozfest with Sabbath. That was the first year they got back together.
Right, with Ozzy.
Yeah, everybody except Bill Ward.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see that, and then. But this is the first time I ever got to see him with Dio. So it's pretty amazing.
Very cool. Now, you said that you're fans of Black Sabbath. Can you take us back to when you first heard Black Sabbath album, or?
Well, actually, the first time I ever heard Black Sabbath was not a good circumstance. I was about 7 years old, and my sister, who was 5 years older than me, you know, being the bully big sister that she was, took me in a room, locked me in the room, and turned off the lights and put on the song Black Sabbath.
Oh no!
Yeah, you know, the rain and the thunder and everything going on, and just it freaked me out. I was like, I was freaked out. You know, I had nightmares and stuff after that, and but I didn't really know like that, you know, what that Black Sabbath was or anything. So that was my first introduction. And then, you know, a few years later, when I was getting into music, you know, first like getting into Kiss and stuff, and going through all our albums, I remember looking at all the, you know, that cover for Sabbath in particular, you know, with the green chick on the front, you know, and just like, oh my God, this is killer. Started listening to all that stuff. So.
That's how you got into music, too.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then you were 7 though when your sister did that?
Yeah, 7 years old, locking me in a room.
So what does she say now that you're on tour with them?
She came to the shows in Texas, and it's pretty funny, you know. And of course, I sent her an email before, you know, like, yeah, you know, lock me in your room playing Sabbath, and now look, I'm on tour with them. it was killer, you know, because she, you know, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have found, you know, hard rock and heavy metal, because I like just snooped into her room looking at, you know, all her album covers and started stealing her records, you know.
Definitely, that's what young kids do. I'm the youngest too, so that's what you do, is you go through them.
Yeah.
All and
you know, it's like this whole like weird world that you get thrown into.
Definitely. You just released your single for Aesthetics of Hate. The video just premiered on Headbangers Ball a couple weekends ago. I think it was the 5th. Okay, so it has to deal with the idiot reporter that slammed Dimebag.
Yeah.
And I saw on your website that Rob has his diary journal, and he said that Bitty Paul was at your show.
Yeah.
Was there any feedback from him at all about the song?
He actually he hadn't even heard the album yet, but he told Rob, he's like, yeah, I've been reading a lot of interviews you've done, and you're talking so good about my brother, and I just, you know, he gave him a hug. He's like, I just want you to know that I appreciate that, and we went to the clubhouse after the show, their strip club, and you know, we were talking to him about the song, and you know, just telling him everything about, you know, even, you know, Rob's lead that he played on that song, he played on the guitar that Dimebag gave him, you know, the Dime model.
Oh, cool.
That he gave him back in '97, and you know, and just how much that song meant to us, and how lame it was to read that stuff about what that guy, you know, the stuff the guy was saying about Diamond, and just about, you know, the fans in general. And so we gave him the CD and told him, you know, here you go, check it out. And he was looking at it, and Aesthetics of Hate, he goes, that's the song about my brother? And Rob said, yeah. He goes, man, he goes, that's track 3. He goes, my brother had this thing with 3s, you know, and it was like, we were just like, oh my God, you know, like, it was. You
could have planned it better.
Yeah, you know, it was really cool, and it was cool to finally see. That was the first time I've seen Benny since then, you know, and I told him, I was just, it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about you guys, just, all of them, Rita and Vinny and everybody that was involved in that, and it's like heartbreaking, every day to even think about, and to see Vinny doing something, see him happy now and doing his thing, it's killer, and it's just good to see him back, and it's got to be hard. He's got to be reminded of it every day by everybody, but
oh, I know.
It's got to be a hard thing, but it's also a great thing, because Don was that dude. He was special, and
yeah.
It's cool that he's doing stuff.
The local radio station here in Albany, after he died, the one DJ was saying how anybody that ever even met him, or everybody has some kind of story.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely he was a very outgoing
he was that he wasn't just that guy when he was on stage, he was that guy. Every time when I saw him, we toured with him quite a bit, and he was like on all the time, and he was just dying,
Yeah.
killer guy.
Yeah, no, my first experience with that song too, because we caught you on the Lamb of God tour, and I remember when Rob goes into his introduction about it fills you up, and there was a lot that happened with all that. It's great that you guys did that. I think it's a nice remembrance.
Yeah, it's definitely it's bittersweet having to play a song like that.
Oh, definitely.
But at the same time, it when Rob's telling that story about everything, sometimes there's drunk people in the audience that don't hear, they're not really hearing what he's saying about the thing, and they're just like, what the, like they think we're saying something bad about him. It's like, what, but by the end of the thing, everybody's like, starts chanting Dimebag usually, and it's cool.
Very cool. Now, you guys originally, for your first single, was supposed to be a different song.
Right.
It was
Now I Lay Thee Down.
Thank you. And you guys shot the video for that. Why did you guys decide to switch?
Well, we coming out with a new album. Now we're pretty, we're proud of every song on the album. And but for us, Now I Lay Thee Down was always thought of more of a second video song for us. It's probably the most of any song on the album. It's more of like a song, and we wanted to come out. We want this album, when it comes out, this album is brutal, and Now I Lay Thee Down is probably one of the less brutal songs on the album. It's real good chorus and stuff, and so we, Aesthetics of Hate was always like the first one we wanted to come out with, and being that, not because of like what it's about or anything, just because like musically it just comes out and hits people hard. And
definitely, it's a very strong song.
We're a metal band, and that's we want stuff coming out to be hard, and so we kind of put that one on the back burner. It'll be cool when it comes out. It's even more of like a real video, like where Aesthetics is a performance, like gritty performance thing. This is like kind of there's a whole story to it. It's kind of like an old black and white, like Nosferatu.
Oh, cool.